Hey kids, how's everybody out there in YouTube land this evening? Hold on, I'm still trying to get organized and set up here. I wanted to get back on as soon as I could. There you go. Oh man, gotta clean my glasses, gotta get things organized here. I got soaking wet coming back to the dinghy. I stayed after a little bit at the FWC meeting and there we go, now I can see. I had a few questions, and so now I am I'm soaking wet. But that's all right, I really needed a beer. Pilot, there you go, my friend. Okay, now we can talk. So that was sort of an interesting meeting held by the Florida Wildlife Commission, the FWC. They serve the role, let me get a fan on, it's kind of warm down here. They serve the role of being the water cops here in this part of Florida. I assume they do all over the state of Florida. And anyhow, they had a meeting today. I guess it's sort of an annual thing that goes on here in Buki Harbor, where they kind of talk about the rules and, you know, whatever. But I wanted to participate just because I wanted to see what was going on. And I had some specific questions. One about the mast light and what was going on with that. Two, with the problem I'm having with my dinghy. Still waiting on registration papers for the dinghy I bought in North Carolina. I'm sorry, responding to some stuff here. Okay, yeah, okay. Live now. All right. Responding to some text messages and stuff that came in while I was en route. Just wanted to let everybody know that I am live again. And all right, took care of all the important stuff. Anyhow, so what's going on? Well, we had an FWC meeting this evening. It was sort of a normal kind of thing. It was not in reference to any event that's gone on here in the harbor. Just sort of an informational kind of thing, and let us know what they're looking for. And as you guys probably heard, he was talking in there about some of the issues and questions that have been going on. So as an example, hey Andy, what's going on, brother? Yeah, I told you I would be back. I just needed to get here and plug my phone in. For one thing, my phone was dying. My battery was about dead. So right now we're plugged in, we're live and under power. So hey Marie, how you doing? Marie, I got your recording. I haven't listened to it yet. I just haven't had a chance to respond to it. I haven't even listened to it yet. Got done with the meeting. I got back on, after the meeting I asked a couple questions. That took a little while. Got on the dinghy, got soaking wet back to the boat. Just got here, got down below, got the lights on, the generator started, plugged in, turned on, powered up, and here we are. So, I don't even, what is it, 7:23. So I don't know how long that took, a half hour or whatever. So, Andy, I'm sorry I didn't respond back to your messages. I didn't actually get them until I got back here on the boat. So I had to take the phone and stow it away in my shower bag. I went over, took a shower. As you can see, I'm all coiffed and looking good here. My hair's all combed out really nice and looking sexy tonight. So there's a dog. She's fine. Yep, she's absolutely fine. No problem there with Lily. Nor would I expect any to be. Oh, okay. So I'm getting close to consuming the gigabytes on my phone. Anyhow, interesting meeting with the FWC. A couple controversies have been going on here in the harbor, and so it was good to hear them talk about it to get, you know, an answer. First of all, mast lights. By the letter of the law, you're supposed to have a mast light on when you're, an anchor light on when you're at anchor. Here in the mooring field, it's not required to have your anchor light on while you're on a mooring ball. However, they request that the boats that are along the canal edge, that they should have their anchor lights on so that people can see. Uh-oh. Okay, I just plugged this in and it's saying battery's still low. Oh, I didn't have that plugged in correctly maybe. I don't know. Hopefully that's plugged in correctly now and we have adequate power. I don't know. If this live stream stops mid-live stream, guys, it's because my battery died. So let's keep this short. Anyhow, so there was a little controversy on anchor lights, and some people were saying, oh, everybody has to have an anchor light on. Somebody said if you're on a mooring ball, you don't need an anchor light on. So their thing is, you know, here's the deal. If you don't have your anchor light on and you have an accident, somebody runs into you, their insurance company could argue that, you know, it was your fault because you didn't have an anchor light on and they couldn't see your boat. So it's not required, but it's suggested that you should have your anchor light on. Now I have a standard incandescent bulb on my masthead. It eats a lot of power. If I when I was turning on my anchor light at night, I would wake up in the morning and one of my batteries would be dead. My number one battery would be dead. It would power that light with all it had for the given time, and then it would die. First thing in the morning, I had to start the generator, charge it back up with my battery charger, and so that battery was completely cycling down and cycling back up every day, and it killed that battery. That battery had a short life. So I try not to do that now. I try not to power that. It's not that the light is that expensive. I can buy a mast light for, you know, 40 bucks, 30 bucks. I could buy a decent LED mast light to put up on the top of the mast. The problem is the expense is getting somebody to go up the mast to do the wiring. My mast light does work. It's wired and it's functional. My deck lights don't work, but my running lights do. My anchor light works. But it's, you know, I've been getting prices of like 100, 150 bucks or something to go up the mast. So I have not done that. It is not a high priority for me. I am absolutely fine just the way I am. I'm not asking anybody to donate any money. Don't worry about it. We're cool. We're fine with that. The other issue was dinghy lights, having a light on your dinghy. I have what's known as a Lucy light that is mounted onto a 5-foot long pole that sets into a rod holder screwed onto the back of my boat, onto my mounted into the stern. It works fine. It's functional. It's 100% exactly what they want. Except tonight, apparently, I went and hit the little switch to turn on my Lucy light, and it blinked for a second and went off. Now, I didn't think LEDs did that. I thought only incandescent lights did that, so I'm not really sure what happened, but I could not get it to power back on. So apparently my Lucy light has died, and I need to get a new Lucy light. So I'm going to have to order one of those. If anybody out there has a Lucy light, or if you want to, get on Amazon and ship me a Lucy light. That'd be great. That would be fine. They're not expensive. They're like, you know, 8, 9, 10 bucks or something. They're cheap. But I guess I'm going to have to buy a new Lucy light to put on the back of my dinghy. And it was funny, you know, because here I am going out the dinghy dock, and as I'm going out the dinghy dock, the FWC guy that just gave this whole big spiel about having lights on the dinghy, he's standing there at the end of the dock, and why do they call it Lucy light? 6'7", I have no idea. I don't know why they call it Lucy light. It's L-U-C-I-E, Lucy, L-U-C-I-E lights. You can look them up on Amazon, whatever. They're all pretty much consistent. It's an inflatable light. You actually, it has like a beach ball. You blow it up, and it's got a little LED light and stuff in it. I like the ones that are just on-off. I don't like all the fancy, you know, color changing and all that nonsense, because it's just that many more times you got to hit the power button to cycle it through all the options. Anyhow, but so here I am going to the end of the dock, and I'm going by the end of the dock, and there's the guy standing there having a conversation with people, and I'm going by in a perfectly black, you know, dinghy with no light on. I looked over to him, I'm like, man, I know, I just hit the button and it blinked for a second and went out. I'm heading to my boat, I'll get it fixed, I'll have a light on next time I'm out at nighttime. Of course, I'm rarely out at nighttime. Rarely do I dinghy in the dark. So as a general rule, it's not much of a problem. Plus, I'm pretty good about keeping eye all the way around me and making sure I can see all the other boats, which brings me to another thing. So put a solar light on it. Yep, Kent, well, that's what it is. It is a solar light. It's a solar light that you turn on and off. It just doesn't come on automatically. If you leave it in the automatic mode, it burns more juice than the charger charges on it. You just have it on, it's just on. So anyhow, yeah, Dutch, I don't know, Dutch just messaged me. I don't have time to talk to Dutch right now. And there was another thing I was going to talk about. What was it? Lucy lights, the anchor light. I don't know, whatever. I'm tired, been a long day. Been a real long day. Today was a day, man, I spent a ton of money today. Paid the phone bill, paid the mooring ball, put money on my laundry card. They use like a debit card thing here for doing laundry. So I charged the laundry card up, put money on that. Went and got some provisions. Forgot dog food. Of all things, I forgot to buy dog food. She's good. She's got enough food to last another week at least, but I was going to buy dog food today and I didn't buy dog food. I forgot that. So anyhow, what else did I do? Got stamps at the post office. Took care of all that stuff. So today was a day of spending money, and man, did we spend money today. So, but I'm good. I'm good for a while now. You know, I got gasoline. I filled up the gas cans, so that's good for, you know, a week. I got water, so I'm good with water for a week. I got groceries. I'm good with groceries for a week, at least. I'm good for a week. And I got the phone bill and the mooring ball paid for the month. So on those two, I'm good for the month. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. So anyhow, I did get yelled at about Miss Lily. Miss Lily will sometimes go up on the bow and do her business. Not very often, because I walk her every morning. I take her to shore and take her for a big long walk, and she does her business on shore. So not very often, but occasionally, maybe once a week, she'll go and do her business up on the bow. Usually when I am not moving fast enough in the morning, or if I sleep in a little bit, when I open the door and getting ready to go up on deck, she'll go up on the bow and do her business instead of waiting for me to take her on her walk. But anyhow, well, apparently she went up on deck the other day. I didn't notice it. I didn't see it. And the wind and the storm had blown up, and apparently one of the neighbor boats saw a dog turd get blown over the side of the boat, or so they claim. They claim that they saw dog poop leaving my boat. Now, that's really not likely for a couple reasons. One, I've got a lip about this high that runs down both sides of my above deck. My deck seal, my deck, you know, where the hull meets the deck, there's a raised area that sticks up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe, that creates a channel down both sides of the boat. That channel is higher than anything that's ever come out of her butt, that's for sure. So the wind would have to be blowing a hoolie to blow one of them off the deck. Now they will come down the deck. I've picked them up, like, you know, in this area here where it's, you know, it's come down. When we have a rain or a storm or something, they'll get washed down this way, and I've had to clean them up. But I've never actually seen one going over the side. So anyhow, apparently somebody reported to the marina office that a dog poop had blown over the side. So thinking about that, I'm 99% sure that was not any of my neighbors around here, because we're all good friends. And if they saw something like that, I'm sure they would have said something to me. At least I hope they would. I think what it was is probably one of the troll idiots calling up and making false claims, as they have numerous times about numerous other things. And I think whoever answered the phone at the marina office didn't clarify who that was they were talking to, because they did admit to me that they never got the name or the boat number or anything of Mooring Ball. They don't know who it was who made the complaint. Just somebody said that dog poop had been blown off the side of the boat. So possible, yes. Probable, yeah, I don't think so. So no police came out to the boat. Just people at the marina office said for me to bag it and trash it in the garbage, which is what I do. I'll give you an idea of just how convenient these things are. I have dog bags all over the boat. I mean, they're all over the boat. And so what you do is you open this thing up and you stick your hand down inside, you grab the turd, and then you invert the bag over it. Piece of cake. These bags are free here at the marina. They have 5 or 6 dispensers of these things. They give them to you. They would give me a whole case of these if I asked for them. And as you can see, I didn't have this sitting here for the live stream. I do have one sitting here at the end of my seat in case I need to grab one quickly and go up on deck. I have a supply of them over there in the head. I mean, I probably have 50 of them on board the boat. So anytime you'll go up on deck and I see where she's pooped, I'll go up there and pick it up and tie it up in that little bag and throw them out. So I think what it was is I think a troll type person has just been calling the marina and making false claims. Gene, the dock master, he's wise to it at this point. He gets these calls from time to time, and you know, at this point he knows about it. He asks them who they are, what mooring ball they are, and if they don't answer any of that question, and nor do they have the right information. Oh well, I'm on the boat next to him. Well, what's the name of your boat? What mooring ball are you on? Yeah, right. Thank you. Hangs up. Goodbye. So he's on to it, but some of these trolls, they're just not real bright, you know. They're just not real bright. So anyhow, so that was another thing I wanted to ask the FWC about. I said, well, what's the deal with that? You know, I mean, it's a dog pooping on the bow. If a big wind comes and blows it over the side before I get a chance to go up on deck and clean it up, what's the deal? And he's like, he wouldn't do anything about that. He's not going to enforce any rule about that. If the dog poops on my bow and I want to store it on my bow, that's, as far as he's concerned, that's perfectly good. So yeah, right, with a little dog poop between friends. Yeah, so I don't know. I found that to be kind of odd, but oh well. Yeah, Miss Lily gets me in trouble all the time for stuff like that. What can I tell you? Oh man, did I need that beer. That was not a big enough beer though. I need another one. I need another one. So I'm gonna grab beer here in a second. Anyhow, what I miss in chat? So how is your dog? Not only dog in marina. How is it your dog? Oh no, there are lots of boats with dogs on them, man. Lots. Yep. Okay, I'm agreeing with all that stuff. Yeah, tow rail, exactly. Only at Bermuda Sun, in my case, it's almost more of an ankle rail than a tow rail. So, and it is the poop deck. Yep. Pilot was pretty lit up. Papa, when you were talking to the guy, did you pull the stick? No, I didn't. Andy. He was fine. Went out early last night too. Okay. Hey, Morgan's in the house. Hey, Morgan. Okay. All right. With that said, I need to grab a beer. I need to keep you plugged in, so I'm going to move you guys over here. I'm not going to spin you around. I'm going to set you there for a second, so hang out a minute while I get a beer. Oh, I know you're not in your usual spot. You're stuck looking up at the ceiling, but that's just the way it's going to be. Oh, come on. Gee. Well, you guys fell. What are you doing down there? What are you guys doing on the floor? You're not supposed to be on the floor. How did you get knocked off over there, huh? Oh man, can't trust you guys for a minute. You know, I think I'm leaving you someplace nice and secure. You guys go jump on the floor like that. Damn lucky my phone didn't break. All right. Whew. Hey Chief, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Good to see you here. Grab some tequila. Yeah, I should have done that. You threw us. I did not throw you down there. I would not do that to you, Marie. I would not. You fell. You did fall. You know what? I'm going to grab some tequila. Hold on a minute. Okay, you're right back in the same place you were. I don't see how it's possible you could have fallen from there. Not possible. You're just not possible. You know what the problem is too many of you guys have been drinking and you just fell off the shelf over there. You guys got to sober up, man. You can't be drinking like that on the boat and just fall down like that. Bunch of fall down drunks you guys are. So hey New Jersey, what's up? Stephen D'Antonio. There's a good New York, New Jersey Italian. Nobody move. We're all tipsy. Yeah, it's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, Marie. So anyhow, okay, guys. Now, seriously, I'm sober. That was my first beer. This is my second beer, and I have yet to have any tequila this evening. You guys know I was at the FWC, so shot 30. Oh yeah, there you go. Shot 30. Excuse me. Wrong hand. Salute. Thank you, George. By the way, in case you guys haven't guessed it, George is not the name of the guy that gave me the money for the beer and the tequila. But we're going to call him George anyway, because it keeps me from shooting my big mouth off and giving the right name. And I don't want to do that because he asked not to. So, guilty as charged, Your Honor. Oh, that's right. That was another question I had for the FWC. And this I found very interesting and amusing, and you guys will too. So, if I am on my boat and I am drinking, am I operating under the influence? If I'm on my boat drinking while here on the mooring ball or on anchor, can I be cited for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated? The answer is no. As long as I am not underway, I can't be cited for that. I can be here on anchor or on a mooring ball, and I can drink, and I'm fine. Now, Stephen, not on anchor. Yes, here in Florida, it is even on anchor. No keys in the ignition. That's correct. No keys in the ignition. Because I live here. This is my house. This is my home. Conversely, no way, that's your home, as it were. Yeah, it is my house. So as long as I am not underway, and I am in a anchorage or in a mooring field. Now, I should clarify that. I have to be in an anchorage or a mooring ball field. Now, if I'm out at the coral reef under anchor, where it's obvious that I'm going to pull my anchor up and come back ashore, so therefore I will be going underway, that's not cool. That you can't do. If I go out, like here in Florida, they have a lot of these, they call them beach parties, but there's really no beach. There's places where there's sandbars, and the boats will all go out to the sandbars and sit out there and party and walk around in the shallow water in the sand, even though the sand's underwater and may or may not be any of it exposed to the air. there's a lot of people who anchor out and they'll hang out there and party and drink. So they are, in essence, at anchor, but that still doesn't qualify. You know, common sense. The prudent man rule is that if you're at one of those bars, sandbars, not drinking bar, sandbar, it's pretty obvious you're going to start your boat and drive home. You're going to drive it back to your marina, your mooring ball, wherever. So you have to be in an anchorage or in a mooring field. Then you can drink on your boat and you won't be charged with operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. Or boating a BUI, I guess. Boating under the influence. I don't know what they call it, but anyhow, I've never had one. I don't choose to have one, but I was wondering about that. So, what else was there? There's somebody who made something in the comments. Yes, it's my house. And, yes, that was the other thing. Okay. Also must have a head. Okay. You still ain't moving and cannot be arrested. Okay, that's right. That's right. Okay. Florida, stand your ground rules. Okay. Florida has stand your ground laws. What that means is I can defend myself wherever I am. If I'm walking down the street and somebody comes up and is trying to hurt me, I can stand my ground and use lethal force to defend myself. There was a recent case in the law, in the rule, you know, a couple years ago where that happened. So it doesn't matter if it's obvious you were going to move the boat. If you aren't moving, there's no crime. Okay? You cannot be arrested. Okay. All right. Well, Andy, I would agree with that. But I'm just telling you what the FWC guys told me. So, stand your ground law. Okay, so here, follow along here. So if I'm on my boat and there's a derelict boat, or for that matter, even a really beautiful, luxurious, you know, multi-million-dollar super yacht. If I'm on my boat and a super yacht is trying to run me down while I am where I'm supposed to be, and I damn well got to make sure I am where I'm supposed to be. But anyhow, if I am like here, if I'm on my mooring ball sitting here, and some super yacht comes running through the anchorage and it is going to run into my boat, I can defend my boat with lethal force. I don't know how I would exercise lethal force on a mega yacht, but I could exercise lethal force against that boat to protect my life and property. And I was thinking, well, property, I don't think stand your law grounds really applies to property, but you know, if a big derelict boat is you know, being blown in hurricane force winds and it's charging at my boat, which in essence could be life-threatening to me, I could use lethal force to defend myself against that boat. So what does that mean? I got to have a grenade launcher or something? I got to have, you know, a bazooka? I mean, how do you defend yourself against a boat being blown across the anchorage? Blow it up? I don't know. I don't know how that would apply, but it struck me as funny. I could just see me standing up on the bow, you know, with an M50, shooting the crap out of some boat, trying to sink it before it got close enough to hit my boat and do damage to me and my boat. I don't understand that. Yeah, torpedoes. Yeah, pilot. I need torpedoes mounted in the hull now. So it just struck me as funny. So sort of a weird adaptation, or you know, that's a long bend of the law, bow-mounted cannon. Yeah. On the stand your ground laws. So I don't know, interesting stuff. And because, you know, we're human beings, we always take things to the absurd level, and that certainly is absurd. I certainly am not going to do that. But you know, how would you do that? How would you defend yourself? How do you be on your boat and stand your ground? I guess, do you stand your water then? Instead of standing your ground, are you standing your water? Because you're not on ground, you know. I mean, you are connected to the ground because you're tied to a mooring ball and the mooring ball is connected to the ground. I get that, but I don't know. I, for one, do not want to be the test case that takes that through the court system and tries to argue any aspect of that, because that's going to make some lawyer a lot of money trying to do that. But you know, that's just how crazy and screwed up our society has gotten today, kids, that we would even think of such things. So, okay. As a little side note, as you guys know, yesterday I talked about helping out some guys. You heard at the FWC meeting it was mentioned about us moving that 50-foot carver yesterday. We took a 50-foot carver and we had room for torpedoes, but not an Instapot. Yeah, Marie, exactly. Hey, you know what? I could fill the torpedoes with and then shoot them out. Yeah, not my crap, sir. Anyhow, we moved that 50-foot Morgan, a carver, excuse me, 50-foot carver yesterday. It was floating around the harbor, drifting supposedly, and we re-anchored it and we pushed it up. At high tide, we pushed it up hard aground. Well, we pushed it up hard aground this way up into the mangroves, and today as I went to go by and get fuel, it was now facing this way. That's right. 6 of us were out there yesterday for a couple hours pushing that damn son of a gun up, trying to get it up into the mangroves and run aground so it wouldn't be drifting around the harbor. And apparently we failed big time. We failed big time. So one of the questions that was posed at the FWC meeting by my buddy Rick, one of our, he was one of us out there trying to, he was the ramrod, I put it this way, he was the boss man originally in organizing us going out there and trying to get that boat secured. So the question came back to FWC, well, you know, we were just trying to be good Samaritans and secure that boat so that it wouldn't do damage to us, our boats, or other boats in the marina. And so what about the question of liability? Well, the law is whoever was the last person to touch that boat is liable. So in this particular case, Rick, the guy asking the questions, was in fact the last person to touch that boat. So Rick was liable. If that boat drags and moves through the anchorage, he could be held liable for it. Well, Marie, it was pretty obvious. I mean, he at the FWC meeting, he said he was one of the guys who did it. He admitted to the FWC that he was one of the guys who did it. I was glad that he didn't point out the rest of us that were involved, because I didn't want to be pointed out as part of it, but I don't really care. You know, I don't care. Anyhow, the FWC officers, this is what they had to say. They said that under the Good Samaritan laws, we have no protection, really. We are liable for being the last ones to move that boat. Should that boat drift again, come loose, break its anchor again, we could be held liable. Now, we would not be being held liable by the FWC. They are not going to write us a ticket. They are not going to charge us with anything. They're not going to come after us at all. The only person who might have a say in that is the owner of that vessel and or their insurance company if they are being sued by some other boat that their boat ran into and hit. So because we moved their boat, it could be argued that we then positioned them in such a way that they would then come back and then hit this whatever, you know, X boat. So if X boat got damaged and turned around and sued the owner of that boat, and if he has insurance, which he probably doesn't have, but if he had insurance, then they could come back and say, well, these guys moved my boat without my permission, so they're the ones responsible. And in that case, Rick could be held liable. Rick could be held liable. So I don't care if they hold me liable or not. I don't have nothing. I mean, you know, you'd be squeezing an onion trying to sue me right now. I mean, what are you going to get? You're going to get a $2,000 boat and a 3-year-old dog, you know. any lawyer worth his salt would see my boat and say, oh, hell no, I'm not going to court against that guy. Even if you win, you lose. It'd be more of a liability for anybody that sues me having to deal with the boat than it would be for any economic. You're going to spend $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 in lawyers to what? To collect my $2,000 boat? You know, I'm judgment proof at this point. That's what that's called. That's called being judgment proof. I'm judgment proof at this point. Go ahead and sue my ass. Good luck. But I don't know about Rick. Rick may have more money. I don't know. But in any event, so here's the deal. The FWC said they would not prosecute. They would not go after us. We were being, you know, the prudent man law or prudent man rule. We were trying to help out people in the community by securing that boat, tying it off, getting it so that it won't drift in the harbor again. Even if we did a poor job of doing that, we had our hearts in the right places and we're doing the right thing. Now, that doesn't mean we won't get sued. That just means we won't get arrested for it. If we get sued, however, he volunteered that he would be more than happy to come to the court hearing and testify on our behalf that what we were doing was trying to help out the harbor and help out the community. And he's of the opinion, in his experience, that judges would take that pretty seriously and probably would not award any damages against us for trying to be prudent men and trying to help our community. So, long story short, if you see a derelict boat, or you see, for that matter, somebody in trouble, if you see somebody in trouble and somebody needing help, the last thing you should be worrying about is whether or not I'm going to get sued if I go help this person. For God's sake, put a little human in your being and go help the person. And let the damn courts and the lawyers and all that nonsense sort it out later if that's what they need to do. But I will refuse to ever live my life in such a way that I have to think to myself, oh, if I go help this person, I'm going to get sued by that person. I'm sorry. That equation is never even going to enter into my thinking. I will not allow that to ever enter into my thinking, ever. Just not going to happen. And it shouldn't for you guys either. So, hot down here, man. I'm sweating. And it's raining up on deck, so I have to have the boat closed up. I have my little fan on, but it's still hot down here. Of course, drinking tequila is not helping, kids. So, there you go, more tequila. Yeah, so I should use the torpedoes, absolutely. Old saying, you can't get blood out of a stone. That's right, man. You guys are trying to protect your boats. Yep, absolutely, absolutely, yep. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys all agree. And you're right, more tequila, Bermuda Sun. We're getting to like Bermuda Sun more and more. Ah. Okay, so while provisioning today, I went through the checkout line and I paid for all my groceries. And I forgot to get a little cash out of my account. I only had a couple bucks left in my account, or in my wallet, and I needed $6 to pay the taxis for the ride back. I walk to the grocery store, about a 1.25 mile walk over there, and it was hot and muggy. I walked to the post office, then walked to the grocery store, and then of course I was hot and sweaty walking around the grocery store. I don't like doing that because I smell bad. You know, when you get hot and sweaty, you smell bad. Especially after drinking all the beer and tequila last night, I could literally feel the tequila coming out of my pores. Anyhow, so I forgot when I checked out to get any cash out so that I could pay the taxi. And when I went through the checkout, I just forgot, and I'm like, oh crap, I need $6 for the taxi guy, and I only had 2. So I went around to the ATM and I checked the ATM, and it's like, okay, there's like $23, $24, whatever in that one account. I'm like, okay, well, I want to take out $20. And it said, okay, well, they're going to charge a $2.95 fee. Well, I had $23 in the account. So $20 for me, $2.95 for them. We got it covered. I'm like, okay, let's do that. Came back, wouldn't do it, insufficient funds. I'm like, how could it be insufficient funds? It just told me there was $23 in there, $20 for me and $2.95 for them. My card came out, I put it back in, I checked my balance again. Now my balance is $21. They charged me $3 to check my account balance, and when I put the card in again and take the cash out, they were going to charge me $3 again. Bastards. Bastards. So, for whatever reason, I wasn't able to do that. So I had to go back in the store, now with only $21 in my account. And I went up to the girl at the service desk, and I'm like, hey, I need to get $10 out of my account, and I only have a $21 balance in my account. How do I do that? And she's like, simple, go buy something. Like, buy something? She goes, yeah, buy something for $1, use your credit card, and tell it you want cash out. So I went and I bought, notice they're not even open, but I bought some Reese's because that was the first thing that came at hand, and for $1.95. And when the thing came up to get cash out, the lowest denomination that it would do for cash was $20. I said, but I don't want $20. I can't take out $20. I don't have a month. She said, okay, here's what you do. You hit the other button, which I didn't even notice there was an other button. I could hit the other button and I could enter in the exact amount of money I wanted. She said I could enter 1 cent and it would just give me a penny. So I entered $10, got $10 out. Long story short, got $10 out. Bought a package of Reese's peanut butter cups, which I'm saving in case I just feel like I need some chocolate and peanut butter. And got the money out so I could go take care of the taxi for the ride back. But that was an expensive lesson to learn. Don't forget to get the cash out when you need it before you can pay the taxi drivers, because the taxis here do not take credit cards. It's only cash only. And when I had as much stuff as I had, there was no way to slow down, BS, your motivation are obvious. Okay. I assume you're saying Bermuda sun and not bullshit. I said a PPY word. Huh? Yeah. I think Bermuda sun's okay, Marie. I think he's all right. He's just talkative, and that's fine. Anyhow, so I ended up buying some Reese's Pieces that I didn't, or Reese's peanut butter cups that I didn't expect tonight. So, anyhow, yesterday, I want to touch base with yesterday, bocce ball. I had somebody comment, they were upset with me. Carl, I don't understand you. You bought alcohol and no food yesterday. Well, I bought some food yesterday. I didn't do a major provisioning run, but I did buy some food yesterday. I just didn't show that I bought some food yesterday. But I want to touch base with that a little bit because some of my bigger supporters are on here, and I just wanted to put some things in perspective. I know all well and good that I should not be going out to dinner with a bunch of people and spending money eating out. I should be as frugal as possible with the generous donations that people have been giving me. I can hear all the trolls saying, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. With that said, guys, I lived for a couple years in my remote cabin up in Alaska by myself. I then lived in the garage at Johanna's house by myself. I then spent 9, now 10 months on a sailboat by myself. And even though I have my friends here on YouTube and you guys to chat with and whatever, and you guys are great, don't get me wrong, you guys are awesome, it's nice to hang out with some new friends. It's nice to have some new people in my life. And so I've been playing dominoes, trying to meet and greet other people and getting to know them. It's been nice to go out and play bocce ball. First time I played bocce ball. I didn't know that when they go play bocce ball, they go out to dinner afterwards. I was not aware of that. I thought we just went over and we played bocce ball and then went home like when we played dominoes. But apparently their thing is they all go out afterwards, so I went over with them, and I had what was the least expensive thing I could find on their menu, and had some chicken parmesan for $11, I think it was, or something. And I had some beer and some drinks over there with them while we were all over there hanging out, talking about bocce, talking about scuba diving, talking about sailing and cruising and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, I just wanted to say that, guys, at this point in my life, I find it's really important for me to try to build some new relationships with people. And so if you're one of those people out there that, you know, gets upset with me because I went out and I had dinner with some people, I'm sorry, but, you know, I've been alone way too long. I'm going to hang out with some people, and if I have to waste a little bit of money to go ahead and do that, I know, maybe you don't know, but I know the people that are out here that are donating to my channel and supporting me, they understand that. They appreciate that. In fact, they welcome that. And if they don't, then they're not the kind of friends I thought they were in the first place. So I know for a fact that my friend Andy on here, he wouldn't care. He's, you know, fine. You know, in fact, there are some people on my channel that would specifically donate to me if I would go out and do something like that. I have had people donate, like George, okay? George put 30 bucks in my account and said, go out and buy some beer and tequila. That's what George told me to do. I've had other people put money in my account and say, hey, go out and get a nice dinner for yourself. You haven't been out and had a good dinner in a long time, go out and have a nice dinner for yourself. I had someone do that the other night. I went out to dinner with a friend of mine, Lee, and we had a nice evening. I didn't talk about it on the chat. I didn't bring it up because people get upset about that. But you know what? When somebody donates to me and says, hey, Carl, go get Lily a cheeseburger, which they've done in the past, I go get Lily a cheeseburger. Because if I don't do as people ask, they're not going to donate again, you know? Anyhow, so for the person who got upset with me that I went out to eat and I had dinner and drinks with some friends, I'm sorry if that bothered you. I will say the person who was bothered by that was not somebody who donates to my channel. So whatever. I just wanted to owe up to that. Yes, I was a little inebriated last night when I started my live stream. We had been playing bocce ball. We had been drinking beer. We had been drinking tequila. It was a very, very fun afternoon and evening. And, you know, if people aren't going to donate to me because I occasionally have some fun in my life, I'm sorry, but, you know, living alone sucks, guys. It's nice to have some friends to hang out with. Okay, just this evening, the FWC meeting, my buddy Lee messaged me. He text messaged me. Here, I'll show it to you. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff on here, but anyhow, yeah, it doesn't show anything but his name. I'm going to cover that up. Anyhow, there's the message from Lee. You probably can't see that, just blotting out. Anyhow, Lee commented, he says, hey, you're going to the FWC meeting tonight. He wanted me to go to the FWC meeting. Lee's the buddy that I walk with. He and I walk together. He's the guy I went out and had a nice meal with the other night. You know, it's nice to have some friends, to get to know some people, hang out with them, chat with them. So put a little human in your being, folks, and go out and have some fun with those peoples. And don't be like this idiot. Okay? Don't be like this idiot who's now calling up, oh, because nobody talks to him and nobody cares about him, so he's going to call up and try to disrupt my live stream. I don't know who this is, who's this guy. I mean, seriously, guys, I don't know who this person is. This person who calls in, no caller ID, I don't know who he is. At this point, I just feel bad for the guy. I really do. I just feel bad for the guy. I have tried saying hello and talking to him before, and all he wants to do is cuss and, you know, call me an ass and whatever. At this point, I just feel sorry for the guy, because apparently nobody else talks to him. Nobody cares about him. So, whatever. Trying to put a little human in my being. Anyway. No one who matters is bothered, Papa. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, ma'am. It's called living, folks. Thanks, pilot. But everything, so it's easy to attack you social without telling us. Yeah, well, Marie, that happens all the time, yeah. All rejects, meet new people, maybe get a new guy. I'm working on that, ma'am. Any port or storm. All right, well, I'm glad to see so many supportive people. Thank you for that, guys. Appreciate that. So, your first adult social circle in over a decade, but it's okay to keep it private. Not a decade, but 3 or 4 years anyway. Yeah, 3 or 4 years. Sort of weird, you know, that was one thing that always was kind of weird about my ex-wife, Penny. She never wanted to socialize with anybody. I was always very social. My first wife, Johanna, and I, we would have people come over at night. We play cards with our friends. We had a large group of friends we hung out with. When she and I were first dating, we would go to discotheques and go dancing and stuff with friends of ours. You know, back in the 70s and 80s. You know, we were always very social. Always had people over to the house. Had people over for dinner. My second wife, Penny, never wanted to do that. She never wanted to have people over. I would invite people to come over and hang out, like up in Alaska, people would come over and hang out by the fire outside, and, you know, we'd sit down around the campfire and have a couple beers or whatever. She'd go in the cabin by herself and be antisocial. I never could understand how people can do that to others, but anyhow. Here in this community, it's fun that I'm getting to know a lot of my neighbors and getting to be friends with everybody. It's sort of odd now. You know, I walk in the marina and I have a whole bunch of people. Hey, Carl, how you doing? I have no idea who they are. I mean, I you know, maybe recognize them. I don't know who they are. But I have all these people come up to, hey, Carl, how you doing? Or they'll, hey, where's Lily tonight? How come Lily's not out? Or whatever. It's cool. It's really nice. It's really nice. So, anyhow, cheers, friends. Anyhow, I just thought I would broach that subject with you guys. So don't get upset with me. Don't get mad at me if I sometimes am a little irresponsible in my spending. Let's put it that way. Irresponsible in my spending. I know for a fact I really couldn't afford to go out and spend $11 having a chicken cutlet parmesan over there. And the beers and stuff, you know. But sometimes you just got to do that. You got to bite the bullet. So it is what it is, kids. It is what it is. Disco, time warp, cheers. Yeah, Marie, disco. Ooh, ooh, remember that? Yeah. Yeah, we'd go out and listen to Donna Summer and go out and dance to that. You know, you get our dance on and stuff. I used to be quite good, actually, at the whole disco scene. John Travolta had nothing on me, ma'am. You want to work around, you deserve a night out. Thanks, Bermuda son. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Take my wife, please. Yeah. Old Rodney Dangerfield routine. So, anyhow, looking forward to seeing how things develop now here in the harbor. Getting to know a lot of people, having a lot of fun. Job front. I have been applying for jobs left and right. And there was one job, it was a dispatcher for a transportation company. And I asked them if it was something that I could do remotely. Meaning, can I just stay here on my boat with my cell phone and my computer and be able to do that job? Or did I have to be in their office to do that? And they responded really nasty response, like, no, you have to be in our office, you got to be willing to relocate and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so I responded back to him. I was like, okay, well, where do I have to relocate to? And then I never heard any response back from them. But that's the only response that I've had from all the applications that I put in. I don't know, maybe these companies take forever to respond, but I must have applied for 15 jobs in the last 2 weeks, and I've not heard back but except from one. So, I mean, not a call, not nothing. So, Carl the Disco Duck. There you go. Whack, 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 whack. Hey man, I can shake my booty with the best of them. Oh man. Hey, those were the days, you know. That's the way it was back then. At that time, you know, you hung out with people, especially where I lived there in New York. So, oh, noticeably cooler in Marathon Shores tomorrow. High of 68 tomorrow. Just had a little weather blip come across on my phone from the Weather Channel. Going to be cool tomorrow. High of 68 degrees. I know a lot of you guys are saying 68 would be wonderful. That's so warm. Here in Florida, they're saying it's going to be cool, 68 degrees. We had 80 something today. It was over 80 degrees here today in the Florida Keys. So, Henny Youngman, is that who that was? Take my wife, please. Okay, my bad. I was thinking Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, I guess that was Henny Youngman, wasn't it? All right. Well, anyhow, guys, I wanted to get back on after the FWC meeting tonight. I know that was kind of boring for everybody to kind of sit through, and it was not much fun. But what's a guy to do? I mean, they have the FWC meeting scheduled for 6 o'clock. So I wanted to be there at 6 o'clock, and how can I do my live stream and do that at the same time? So I brought you guys along with me. Marie said 6 degrees there and where she's at. At least someone gets to eat a cheeseburger in paradise. There you go, Tom. Yeah. Cheeseburger. I haven't had a cheeseburger in a long time. 36 right now in the Carolinas. There you go. Cool. All right. Well, anyhow, guys, look, we've killed off another hour here, so we're going to go ahead and end this. I really appreciate you guys jumping back on with me this evening and listening to me go on. I hope I answered a lot of questions this evening and straightened out some stuff. Anyhow, guys, we're going to end this here, so please be good, be careful, take good care of one another. Remember, in the description down below, there's links to my PayPal. I haven't said anything about fundraising today, so if you can, guys, please do contribute. I literally have $27 in my account right now. But we did stock up with most everything, but we're down to $27 in the account right now. So if you're in such a mind that you might want to donate, please feel free to do that. And if you can't, that's fine too. I'm going to put the content up here anyway for you guys. So working on some new content, some interesting stuff coming up. We'll have some stuff coming out soon. But in the meantime, guys, you guys all have a great evening. So all right. Good night, everybody.